advised.
Hey everyone, welcome to the discussion for Mysthea. Now, up somewhere is actually it's actually art, like, what do they call this?
Concept art.
Concept art, yep, that they sent me, so I'm going to show a little bit of that throughout the duration of this discussion. But, right before, I'm going to look up what they've accomplished so far on their pledge, because it might help, actually, throughout this campaign. But while I'm doing that, what do you guys think?
Overall, I think I liked it.
Yeah, overall, I liked it. This is definitely one of the better prototypes I've been sent. And, I mean, that doesn't mean that they don't have anything to fix, because I do think there's a lot of things that could be not necessarily fixed about the game, but aesthetically. Like
wording, the rotation of the spheres,
correct.
How attunement works, and where it lays rotating.
Yeah. And we're limited so much so far on this as a prototype. But yeah, like let's hit on that first. The symbols. I think whenever it comes to symbols in games, you can get away with it if not every single card has their own symbols. You can get away with symbols in a worker placement game because the placements are always the same.
Or even just the resources. Like, I understand having symbols for
Right.
the resources.
Yeah.
It's like, if you're going to do that, and this is the prototype, so these are basically just suggestions we're making.
Right.
But I'd like to see a key somewhere on the board, like down here it would fit, up there is, and I know
they've
they
already got like half a key here.
correct,
So.
and they really want to. I think they really want to show off their art, because either they designed it all themselves, or they paid someone a lot of money to do it, or something. But so they're trying to show all that and stuff like this, and but yeah, it's like, come on, like, you can't have every single card have a unique ability and hope symbols happen. An app isn't going to do it.
Right.
A card reference catalog isn't going to do it.
Like,
This was a 90. They're calling for 90 minutes, and I don't think it's reasonable to hit that if you can only play this really. You can hit 90 minutes if you're playing with the same people over and over.
Played it a couple of times already.
Exactly. Imagine trying to bring someone new into this game.
Oh my goodness. Like, if it was one person and everybody else knew what was going on.
Right, but even then, they're not going to have an effective strategy, because they're going to be like, okay, so what are all these, and everyone's like, dude, come on, will you take your turn? Look, I'm stuck, because there's something called analysis paralysis. This game doesn't give that. The cards, because you're like, what do all these cards do? And it makes everyone's turn just feel like, what you could do, and we kind of did this a little bit, was whenever it wasn't our turn, like I was going through the app and seeing what my cards did, but that just bothers me.
well, you're taking your time. Yeah, you're taking the time where you could be strategizing and thinking, and you're having to look up what your cards fucking do.
Correct. And could you imagine if it was someone like every time it was my turn, I was like, oh, I'm doing this, and so it was like my turn just flew by, and then it's like, crap, I'm not ready.
Well, we can see what it did, because I don't like to strategize. We found that out last night. I do not like. It's not that I hate them. They're not my preference, and so I was really focusing on just trying to float. Like, at one point, because I was like, I feel like I'm asking too many questions. I feel like I'm bogging them down, and I was like, I don't really like. I just couldn't get into it.
Right.
Like, I have 8 different symbols on here.
Yeah.
That now I know what they do. Actually, I still don't know what this does. But, that's because I discarded it. But, it's like, that's 8 different symbols.
Mm-hmm.
Different.
In
like,
a 3-era game, so you have, each era has 16 cards. All of those cards are different, which is awesome. I think that's really cool, because it opens up a variety of what every
It gives a lot of
champion.
variance.
Yeah. But you're also looking at 16 unique cards where, okay, I've seen that before, but I don't remember what it does.
there were the issue. There was the issue I was having earlier where it's like, okay, I've got my cards in my hands. 2 seconds later, I was like, oh shit! Like, what are they doing?
Right.
And like,
Right.
it's like, I know I got them because they're good, but why are they good?
And I got the prototype app. The app was helpful.
Until
because
it switched to Russian.
Just minor.
yeah, until it crashed. But it's a prototype app. It's not even out to get.
And we closed it, and it was fixed.
And it fixed. So that does help. But I think I don't personally like companion apps. because I think it's just the same amount of time to put money into an app versus just put text on your cards.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like if the game called for like an app, like it was a mechanic in the game, then that's cool, but it's not. I think I would suggest putting text on the cards. It's not hard.
Yeah.
Just scrap the app altogether.
Yeah, I mean, unless you already sunk a lot of money into it, but
In which case, scrap it anyways, because it's still going to be cheaper to put words on the cards.
Right. I would say so, and that's just for the cards that we got to develop. The encounters, like I love the artwork. The artwork is amazing in this game. It's fantastic. This concept art is beautiful, and it really gets you kind of into the world. Already just from the concept art, but it's like whenever we want to do kind of like a quest, it's like, well, I want to know what I'm doing on the quest. I don't want to draw a card and just be like, because why would you do it like this whenever you can just flip it over and just be like, okay, I did an encounter, I want to do that one.
Right.
Like it should be thematically tied to, okay, I had to go to this island and do this. Oh my God, there's a cultist doing something or something.
Right. I mean,
which they might be doing that. I don't know.
Like you said, it sets up such a beautiful world, and you just really can't get into it as much as you would if there was a story being told.
I really hope that there is too. Like I really hope that they put something behind it, because this is my biggest issue, because I like to be immersed. I have this issue with movies, books, anything, where it's like, if you give me information and you don't give me a background on the information, I don't fucking care.
Right.
It's like, your art might be beautiful, and it is, I love it, but it's like, it almost just means nothing to me. It's like, who is that?
Right.
Like, why is she the way she is?
And they have names, and like we have names and abilities, but it's like,
Who are
and I'm
we?
sure that there's going to be a story, like an intro
Yeah.
at the beginning of the rule book or
I
something
hope,
like that.
yeah.
But I mean, this one tied me to it, and the reason why I asked to get a prototype was the cover.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was just like, oh my God, this is so pretty.
The colors are so complimentary.
So I want to be involved in this world. I want to know, why are we fighting for these islands? Why can these islands move? Who are these monsters?
Yeah.
Are we enemies? Because it doesn't really seem like it.
Right.
So those are just a few things that it's not gonna. I should go and say I'm not gonna back out of this. Like I'm still gonna back the game.
Right.
Because I did like it. I just want it to be streamlined, and right now it's kind of clunky. Prototype, I understand that. But prototypes are usually, in my experience anyway, kind of a reflection on the final product.
Right.
Yeah.
It's basically making it look prettier. Like the cards are going to be better and stuff like that. But
and we hope that the meeples do not stay. For the love of God.
No, there's already miniatures right here.
Okay, I was like
they're all on the pictured on the Kickstarter.
Okay.
So yeah, that was I think that was our biggest gripe, was the fact of the symbols. And I do want to reiterate that worker placements like Anachrony or Tricarion or games like that have symbols. Like I said, it's a worker placement game, so you can easily recognize it.
Because you're doing it over and over and over.
Over and over and over again. You're not changing it every single time.
And having to float back between symbols and symbols for art, and then having to compare the art to the symbol.
Right. And I want to tie that into probably it was a prototype whenever it was like, okay, because we had no idea what these attunement cards did. Like, they're not in the app. I'm sure they would be. They're not in the rule book. We were just like, I think that's what that icon means, so we're just going to go with it.
Right.
So that's my biggest gripe, is actually the symbols. Yeah. The other one was the way the islands worked. I think it's cool. What do you guys think of the island movement?
I didn't understand it at all.
I like it because it adds, again, that level of variance. It sometimes is easier to just take an extra turn to move.
You can really hurt someone, yeah.
I mean, there was a point in the game that I could have just completely cut an island off. Nobody would have been able to travel onto it.
Yeah, if that's how it works.
Right.
You know, I don't know if that's based on the prototype, it just happened to be, oh, by the way, you can't really connect to one of them.
Is that the only... Well, and they may come with more of these, which I hope they do, because what's gonna add your replayability. Is that so?
Yeah, having multiple island tiles that you can sink in. It's a cool idea.
It's not, because it's not one of those mechanics that you have to use. You don't get punished for not using it, but the fact that it's there and it could sometimes help you is nice.
Right.
It's just, yeah.
Because it's like okay, I don't have a lot of command points to use. I have a lot of experience, especially if you did the route that I did, pretty much the experience quest route.
Right.
It's like, okay, so I really need to get to my experience. Oh, I'll attune, move this island right next to where my cube is, or a token, or whatever it's going to be. and then just spend this card now, next turn, 1 point, move over, and then do it.
Right.
You could really shorten paths. You can get to enemies quicker. You can really screw someone over if you're looking at that and you're like, oh, the storm card's coming up. Like kind of, you didn't do it really that way, but you can really be like, you're gonna have all those people. Okay, like then I'm gonna move it there and make sure that that enemy's gonna move first, then attack you.
I thought about doing that, but at that point we just didn't have enough information. Because we only had one monster showing. I didn't even know if the storm card was going to come out before the others.
Right.
But I wanted to do that. Like,
So Devin, what do you think about the island movement?
It's definitely a unique mechanic. That's new. We haven't seen it before. I don't think so anyway.
No, I've never seen
You know
it.
better than I do.
I've never seen a game that utilizes the worker
But
play.
yeah, they just had it more hard and fast about, because I know we had several issues with the rotation.
Mm-hmm.
That irritated me greatly.
Right.
Um,
Because it's like, if you're going to do something unique, you need to streamline it.
Yeah.
Like, you have to have it very well, because otherwise your unique idea and cool idea is now stupid.
can I see the rulebook for a second?
It's
I just want to double check something.
Yeah,
because
it's stupid and broken is what it
Well,
turns
the
into.
worst part is that if somebody sees it and they're like, "Oh, I can do this, but better,"
Right,
then it
it's
kind
like,
of steals your
then
thunder.
this throws that game out of the way, because that new game would come in and be
Yeah.
like, oh, Mysthea tried to do that and it was a joke.
And we perfected it. So,
Yeah.
But
So, I definitely do like it. Like I said, I want it to be more streamlined. Just this concept art is just absolutely.
please, yeah, it would be so cool if the book got released with concept art and like just
Well, it
like,
will.
flavor.
Yeah, this has
Like-
no game elements at all. It's strictly for the art book.
Okay, but what I was saying was it's like a little text of like this is like whatever is happening in this picture.
Oh, I see.
That's what because that's
I see.
so that'd be fucking badass.
That would be cool. Yeah, you already mentioned obviously the meeples. I think are just fill-ins. Yeah. 'Cause
Well,
they
you
have
said
miniatures.
those are because if that's the case, if they're giving us miniatures, then you need to scale up.
Yeah, they already have more champions
Because
like
could you imagine?
unlocked.
So champions,
Yeah, your champions are gonna have miniatures.
But- and
Yep,
the
there's
meeples
the
are gonna
troops
have.
Golem miniatures right there.
Tight,
Troop
okay.
miniatures.
So that
Um,
leads me to say that I think that they need to scale these up because could you imagine having like legit figures
or
on-
scale the
figures down a little bit?
right, except for the champions.
Right.
and
Right.
Monsters.
Because like Dalen's would have been.
Oh, we're guilds. Okay, so the Varorian
Yeah.
Guild is blue. You're the Varorian Guild.
Oh.
Yellow is the Valeries Guild. Black is the Magista Guild. Red is the Kator Guild. Yeah, so there's already tokens on here. I'm
Okay.
assuming to clip into your miniatures so you know who's yours. They have another guild, the Lusma Guild. An English rulebook, plastic tray. So a bunch of cards that's coming out. 24 game summary cards. In 6 languages. I was like, what?
What?
So the game summary. I hope that these are in bigger
Yeah,
on
my
bigger
eyes.
cards because you really want a game summary to be
Something that
very
you're
accessible,
noticing.
just to be able to look over, have it on the player board. If you don't want to do a separate card,
Yeah.
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
the game is actually. I wouldn't really say a lot of fun. Which sounds like a negative thing, but I don't mean it negatively.
No,
Right.
Like I wasn't like, oh, there was really, it was
we
a,
weren't sitting around laughing, joking.
Right.
Like we were and joking. but
Right,
That's
yeah.
just us.
it's a unique, it's a different way of strategy. I think is what the game brings. And the reason why I say that is it all comes down to the cards.
Right.
So let's ignore the symbols and let's say we all understand the symbols. These have 4 uses, essentially. 4 uses. You have the ability that you can use if you have the energy. You have the command points, which also allow you to move and to recruit and all that.
Right.
Then you have what they're used for in combat. So 3 uses. Sorry, I was thinking of another thing. So how they're used in combat, either attack, retreat, glory points, or sacrifice, energy points. So you definitely have hand management. It's like, because we were looking at stuff and it's like, oh, that has a really good ability. Oh, it's only 1 command point. It's like, oh, do I really want to get that? Like, you have to weigh out your options on how much do I want to do board presence versus how much do I want to do abilities.
Yeah.
Which I really like. I love multi-card use and hand management because there were times where it's like, I didn't have a lot of presence on the board. Like, you had all your people out.
Just about, yeah.
Except your golem.
Actually, I just double checked, and it turns out we were doing one thing slightly incorrect. You can move from one island to another as long as the symbol you move from matches the symbol, or matches the territory you're going to in the next island.
So
So it's the terrain. No, it's still the terrain because all the symbols
Right.
are the same
Oh.
for the terrain.
So essentially, it doesn't matter how it's rotated. If you're on a forest over here and there's a
You-
forest on the next one, you can just move right over to it.
Correct.
Oh, they don't have to tie in from these lines. Oh,
So
that makes sense.
I that's the way I'm reading it, and I thought I heard you say something about that whenever you initially read the rules. But again, this
Well,
comes
see-
down to it being a prototype, and with not
Correct.
having a complete rule book, which is actually one of the first things I
Their
think
examples
should.
were pretty bad.
I think the rule book is probably one of the should be the top
It
priority.
is the crux of the game. Yeah.
at
Always
least when you're
assume.
sending it out for a player like this. But if we would have known that, it probably would have been a lot more clear, and we wouldn't. Have made
Yeah,
that mistake.
because it seems like the way I took it was, oh, these lines have to line
that's
up.
the way I thought.
So
of it
it's
too,
like,
but-
and that makes a lot more sense because then you move the island. Yeah, so if I was here, like, so if this was a forest here and there was a forest over there, I could move in there.
right.
Okay.
So I could have actually done that.
But
jump.
since there's no forest over here, you can't go there.
Gotcha, but there's a miss, so there's always a
Right,
way
right,
to
right.
connect. Or okay, yeah, because we thought there was some orientation to it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good point. The rule book needs to be streamlined. Otherwise, I think that
I think I
Anyone
would even
would make
give
that
up,
mistake.
I would even give up figs to have 100% streamlined
really.
rule book. Oh yeah.
Well, because it's like it's great playing a game with great miniatures and everything like that, but it's like
In the end, it's just something
But-
prettier to
we gotta
look
know
at.
how to play
Correct,
it.
but
Like
yeah, table presence is only. It just brings people in. If the game doesn't work, then it's like, wow, this was just a lot
They
of
leave
money.
real quick. Yeah.
Yeah.
it's like going to a really pretty shitty restaurant.
So
So yeah, exactly. So how did you? So what did you guys think of the cards?
I mean, I feel like we've already gone over that. And they
No,
were
Some
good.
were pretty
Symbols.
fucking strong.
Yeah, you think they were overpowered? You think some of them were unbalanced? Because I felt like by era 3, there weren't really a lot of like they should have all been really good.
There was
Um,
one.
His.
Yeah.
That one was pretty nasty.
Oh,
Yeah.
Granted, I think it was a little bit situational because you were just in a combat that gave you experience, but that's 6 points for experience. Like
and that's like, say if I got that early on, that's how many, potentially 10 rounds.
yeah, that's potentially
60
60 points
points.
if you happen to
And just 10 experience, and that's not. I mean, it's kind of rough to collect some if you don't have a generator.
Correct.
If you just collect,
But even if you just
You
take,
just have to
you
have-
could, you can get a spot and then just meditate
Yeah.
the whole
Exactly.
round.
Yeah, you meditate and you're like, I'll use my
and
artifact.
it's like the equivalent of
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
an
either
encounter.
it's either the exact amount of encounter or one less.
Right.
Oh no, because the
I think I've
bonuses
seen a couple of 8s in there.
were there.
I think.
Because oh yeah, there are a few 8s, but that's the thing is like to the bonuses of these encounters are not really worth trying to rack up so much experience.
Right.
Especially if you get that card, it's just like all right, I guess I'll just keep doing this. So yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Some of them were kind of OP. Like this one was an era 3. It came in. It's just like I just happen to have a bunch of yellows that were essentially now free for me.
Right.
So maybe they're streamlining the cards, but yeah, I think
It could definitely do with a little bit of balance.
yeah, because you kind of want to have enough cards in each era that benefit each type of strategy.
And you want to have enough command points on each card. Like, in a way, I feel like there should be a little bit more of a balance between the amount of command points it gives and the ability. Sometimes having a not as good of an ability but a higher command point,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
it would be better.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe an ability like this, make this 1.
Oh
So
yeah,
you're not
5
get-
command.
Right,
Yeah.
so you're getting 1 command point, but you're getting to be able to do this as
Yeah.
an option. And so just taking that and...
But it's difficult because how they did it was they attributed how much energy it costs to the command point. So it's like, do they keep the same amount of energy?
Well, no, because they have the energy listed down here below.
No, I know, but I'm
And-
saying no. They do that. So like every
Right.
energy cost was the exact same amount as the command. So,
So-
it's like if they lower that to a 1, are you saying they lower the energy cost as well?
No,
So
keep the energy
keep
cost
the energy
same.
cost.
So just disassociate those two to where it
Yeah.
is not this costs the command points to play on your board.
Okay.
So that way you can kind of just balance the game a little bit more and make turns a little bit more impactful, because there was
Right.
a lot of times I felt like I was either short command points to really accomplish what I wanted to do, or I was short energy.
Right.
So.
And then Cat had a bunch of energy this entire game.
I started with 6 every time. So.
Oh yeah, so and it's interesting because I think that I think they're on the right track with energy and command balance, because those are two crucial ways that you're going to do well. If you don't have energy, you can't do your card abilities. If you don't have command, you're not going to have board presence. I do like the artifacts.
I do too.
Right?
I think
actually a lot.
Because to move an island, I think thematically makes sense. It's going to use like a shit ton of your power or whatever.
I don't know why attacking does.
Yeah, that was a little weird.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you should maybe be able to attack more often.
Right? I mean, there are the cards that say you can do it.
Right.
But yeah, to flip it to attack someone, it seems like they wanted to make a war game, but not have war in it.
Right.
I thought it was going to be a conflict-heavy game, like between us.
I tried to.
The first night we played. Like, I thought
Even the first night, yeah.
I got blown out.
I was like, oh, I bet you this is gonna be one of those games where it's like, where if you don't go with war, you're not gonna win. And it totally did not turn out that way. To where it's like, it was almost an inconvenience to war. With
No,
somebody.
because I don't think you win enough points to merit a difference whenever to try and kill. Because if they could just run away, but then it comes like some things remind me of Scythe, because Scythe, you don't lose your people; they just go back home. So it's kind of an inconvenience. It's like, oh, thanks a lot. Now I have to move them all the way back.
Right.
But it's like your champion weakening them isn't ever really a crux.
Right. I mean, it can be later.
But it's
But
not.
it's for the whole era.
Yeah. So
Like,
if
if
you
you
get
kill
fucked
someone's
early
champion
on,
early fucking on.
That's true.
Which is probably what I should
because
have
they're giving you a reset on turn 6 or whatever.
I mean, does that heal your champion?
Mm-mm.
No,
Yeah.
but they're giving you a reset on this at turn 6, so that means they want you to be attacking before that, or they want you to be moving an island before
Right, right.
That-
but we
that's
don't
what-
don't have the presence for it to matter. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It takes so long. Or it's easy to get your meeples or your fighters on the board, but it's so hard to move them.
Yeah.
It's just like, because troops and golems can only move one, fortifications don't move at all. Your champion can move as far as he wants per command point.
Uh-huh.
But it's just, and I guess, yes, you can get the cards that your golems can carry people or your champion can carry someone.
Right.
But it's like, I felt like the other cards that for your champion or for whatever was way more beneficial than them carrying people around.
Right.
So it wasn't until Era 2 that we had more people on the board.
Right.
But they have 3 out of the 4 people are about combat. Hers is about monster hunting. And if she happens to be there, she'll at least double the whatever she gets. Mine was about, I get an extra point if people die or run away. You just get
Stronger.
You're stronger, and you just get more energy each era. So yours is just kind of a static ability, and it's weird to me because
Mine would, if I got attacked, I'd be very crippled.
yeah. So it's like if we attacked you, okay, for some reason
I'm a
you're-
1
you're-
instead of a 6.
You're
There
a
goes
3.
my whole effect.
You're a 3.
Well, I know, versus
But,
but my ability would be lost
Right.
if I'm
Oh,
crippled.
correct, yeah. But it's like, so you go down to a 1 if you're crippled. But yeah, it was we had how many fights? Like 3
Yeah.
in a decently long game. Which is weird because, as I mentioned, Scythe doesn't give you that war mentality. Like we don't have,
Like, this is the kind of art I'd expect to see on, like, Magic cards.
right?
Yeah, actually,
But-
that's what I. that
It's
is pretty
like
cool.
Like, that would be a plain
so Scythe in every game I've played has 1 or 2 combats, and
Ah.
they're critical to like a strategy, to actually a way to win the game.
Right.
This feels like it should be a war game, fighting for territory to get the points for that, and then I guess getting some points in combat,
See,
but they make it so difficult.
And I think that getting, like, let's say, more command points for cards that are less desirable will give you the ability to move more.
To move more.
And so, I don't know. I think maybe streamlining the cards and balancing a bit may make it a little bit better. Or
Right. So, speaking of area control, what do you guys think of how points are accumulated? It's a high-scoring game.
It is a high-scoring game.
Like, almost everything gives you points. Like, you don't have... And that's what I do like. You don't have to fight to win.
Right.
In fact, like at least in this game and the other games we played, it would behoove you not really to just go and hopefully hold your own and hope the cards come out in the way you want them, or hope you get a card that allows you to spend an experience point for 6.
Yeah. To be honest, I think the highest scoring portion of this game is actually this up here, and I don't know. Like the scoring system seemed pretty good. There was definitely a very large gap.
In total points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, that's the other fighter. He's coming as one of the other champions.
Yeah. I'd like to see how the game plays when it's 100%.
When it's done. Yeah. So I don't know how I feel. I think it's unique. It's definitely not random. So it's not. They didn't just attribute every single territory to be worth a certain amount of points. So people are just ignoring the weaker ones and just going towards the one that are worth the most. But it's almost weird because whenever the forest comes out and each forest is worth 9 points, it's like it only benefits. It's kind of like Dragoon. Do you remember Dragoon? That was the dragon one that was really just roll dice and hope that things show up near you. That we played with Logan. That's how this one kind of felt because it's like, oh, forest happened to come out at the end and it's on 9. Thank God I just happen to be there.
That's why I was kind of trying to just put my fortification on everything.
Yeah, you just hope you're there. Like I just happen to have that island where I had one person on each. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll just see how it plays out.
Right.
Like, there was really no... Okay, like, I think if it did kind of like a Rising Sun, almost, where it was like, these don't come out randomly, but you deal them at the beginning. Like, all of these come out now. So forests are worth 9 this era.
So everyone
knows, and now everyone can have a fair shot at going for the high territory ones. If you happen to have a whole bunch, it's like, okay, I'm not going to go for that one, but I'll go for the other forest. Not just, last turn... Nothing I can do.
And maybe that's a house rule that we can set up. I kind of like the way that you do one of those every turn, and you, because at the end you're like, oh crap, we need to do a mad dash. Because by here you know where it's going to be. You have 2 turns to get control of all the forests that you can.
Right. Yeah, you can kind of look and be like, okay, so
you know what's left.
But that's I don't know. I like the extra strategy that comes with that. Personally.
It's interesting. I definitely don't hate it.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know, because, like Devin said, you know what's left, so you can be like, oh, crystals haven't come out yet. Okay, so at least I'm going to get 7 points if it happens to come out next.
And then that adds more conflict to the game.
Yeah, you can see what's going to come out next. So it's like, okay, so, like in the first game, we know mountains are worth 2. It's like, okay, well, but then that's another thing. It's like, well, who gives a fuck about mountains now? They're worth 2, who cares? I guess I'll just move all my people out.
Well, you do care about mountains because you want the fortifications.
Oh, yeah.
So there's multiple incentives
point,
to go to each one. So you kind of got to balance it, and towards. I'm assuming that most people, in the way they maybe designed it, is to again at the end of your turn, end of the era, start trying to get to those as quickly as possible.
Right, but it's gonna be random each era.
Right.
So it's like you could hope to get mountains for the fortifications and then get screwed on the fact that they're only worth 2 points, and the fortification really isn't going to help you that much.
Right.
In that regard, but I do feel like there was a wide gap. I don't even know how I jumped so far ahead. Like,
I think.
It was this in the attunement.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Yeah. Like I essentially.
Yeah, that was the kind of breaking point because we were pretty neck and neck up to that point.
Yep, that is true. So I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so 35, 41, 47 points just from my experience on top of what I got 16. But even then, I got 190 points. I don't know how. Oh well, I know from those. That's where most of probably the points came from. But then again, at the end, I honestly feel kind of unfulfilled. I feel like I didn't do a whole lot. Yeah.
I hope it is the prototype. Like.
Right. If I get 190 points in the game, I want to feel like I fucking worked for it.
That's.
And you kind of did. I mean, to be honest, you were bouncing around a lot. You just happened to get lucky with a lot of engine cards.
See, and I feel that the luck is the part where it's like that's probably why you don't feel fulfilled, because if luck plays a hand and it's like you didn't do that.
Yeah, it's like just chance happened to give me those cards.
So
it's
I
like,
can
okay, I guess
that,
I'll be a...
Because it was like we played Merchants and Marauders last night, and luck was definitely on your side.
Right.
To where like.
Right.
And obviously this is not a majority luck-based game, but it can happen.
Yeah. So combat, and that's another thing we haven't really talked about. What do you guys think of combat?
It seemed like combat.
Yeah. We definitely need to clarify the
tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like
Oh yeah.
highest-
That's going to happen very often with how like little they scale the force numbers.
Right. It's
And it
just
makes a big difference.
there were a lot of ties, and like what was it, a 30-point spread if
Oh,
it
yeah.
went in your if we took it.
I feel like they need a different system because
Right.
it's like, okay, so if you give it to say the one who's winning, then it's like the rich get richer.
Yeah.
And if you give it to the one who's losing, it's like, you know, it's like, well, oh great, now it's easier for you. I mean,
Right.
yeah, it helps. It kind of balances them out, but at the same time, it's like, well, if you're not
Right.
playing well,
If you're not playing well, you're gonna. Yeah, I know a lot of games try to do that catch-up mechanic, where
Mhm.
so if you're really behind, not doing well,
Yeah.
you're not out of the game.
yeah.
Right.
Maybe
Maybe like
that's
a
already
third
displayed
system.
by
I don't know.
just the-
Kind of like how they had the Honor. Yeah, I know we keep bringing up that game, Rising
Right.
Sun.
It's
Right.
such a
But,
good game.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah, like a way that it's like this is a definitive.
Type-
This is who
yeah.
breaks ties.
Right.
Like say something you could work for, just like maybe one of the attunements or something.
Or like how easy
Oh,
is it
right,
when
right.
other people do tiebreakers, they're like the defender wins.
Yeah,
Like
but
a-
there's
a
not really
lot
a
of-
defender
Well, yeah, because we're
talking about control for points.
Oh, for points. Sorry, I thought we were talking about
We
that.
were talking about combat, but I mean that's a good point though to bring in. Okay, yeah, but the control area was just whoever the highest attunement, and it's like highest is a very wrong word to say
Yeah.
Mhm.
because it's like is highest like
Number
highest
one?
in number
Yeah.
one, is that highest?
Or
Because-
the literal number, yeah.
Or like
Or-
they have the forts,
maybe
since they're
base it on-
temporary. Maybe
Right.
You could give them more of a bonus.
Yeah, and I think forts need to be dealt with too because it's like I know they're temporary for the era, but it's like that's a big point to just spread out your fortresses. You're like, oh, okay, I just have that area now. I'm gonna get points for that.
Mhm.
And we were talking about throughout the game that if you had to you should have a guy there.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter what guy. It could be a troop. It could be a golem, whatever. And then your fortress gives you a plus.
Right.
Like just having a fortress in an area does nothing for you. Like because like if a monster fights an area and kills all the troops, it's like, well, thank God I got my fortresses there. So she
Yep,
didn't.
I totally forgot about that. Yeah. I think the way to fix maybe the tiebreakers is to base it off of experience,
Oh, that'd be interesting.
because the people that are going to really care about tiebreakers aren't going to be seeking that much experience, because
Mhm.
they're going to be a little bit more combat focused, maybe.
That's true. Yeah.
So.
That's a good point. So a way to they just need to see the game is good. They just need to definitively, like I keep saying, streamline the game.
Yeah.
Because if it stays like this, then
It's not going to be worth
it's
the money.
it's going to be forgotten. It's gonna be like, remember that game that had the really good artwork? Oh yeah, like almost a lot of other games. It's like, remember the one that moved islands? Yeah, that was kind of fucking dumb. It didn't do anything. So stuff like that. Oh, that's the same. That's pretty much the same artwork.
One of your cats.
Yeah, I think there is some duplicates in there.
Yeah, and that's fine. The artwork is still really pretty. I really don't have a whole lot else to say.
I'm good. Yeah.
Overall, I think it's a good game.
Right? It's just not. So scale of 1 to 10.
All right.
We'll start with you, Dalen.
I'm going to base this off of if they make the simplest changes. So if they
Mm-hmm.
add text on the cards, streamline a couple of small things, and clean up the rule book and make it
Just ease of play.
Yeah, ease of play. So
Mhm.
if they do those
That's
things,
pretty.
I would give this a solid 8.
Really?
Maybe even a little bit higher, because it's hard to tell exactly what the game would play like if it was fixed. I mean, ruin it.
That's true. We're just in the. It's like they made all the changes we wanted, and the game's awful. Maybe this is why we're not in game design.
But I mean, if they slack on this and they just give a mediocre rule book and some
Mhm.
figs, then this is maybe like a 4.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Devin.
Well,
Right.
as it stands right now, assuming they make changes.
Right. You can do both
Yeah.
if you want to.
I mean, as it stands right now, like a 5 or a 6.
Yeah.
But I mean, if they make it a lot more, make it pretty, some definitive rules, yeah, I can definitely give it a 7 or an 8.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's exactly where I'm at too. It's like as of right now, they have some cool ideas. They're doing something different,
The core mechanics are great.
but they're not.
For the most
That's actually what I was about to get to. So the core mechanics, I mean, they work. It's just I have a bunch of other games I can play. what's drawing me to this one.
The combination of
Is-
those mechanics.
Correct, but that's what I'm saying. As of right now, as a prototype, it's not as streamlined as I would like it. Whenever you cannot base a strategy, which this is a very strategy-heavy game, which I like. I love the cards. I love I think the island moving is cool. I think that the points, even though it's not, I don't think it's really fair to say, that's different. But it's like, why can I play this whenever I can play Scythe? Another pretty game that is just clean and cut, no questions asked.
Right.
Why can I play this whenever I can play, War of the Ring or just a bunch of other war games out there? So as of right now, as a prototype, I'm going to give it a 6. But I mean, the artwork's amazing, but like I said, it doesn't draw me enough to the game as of right now. If it's fixed, if it gives all the suggestions I was saying, where you can just look at your thing, look at your fucking cards, know what they do, be able to build, be able to play. You can't really play the game. It's like the way, I mean, you can. It's just like, oh my god, let me take 6 hours to learn everything.
If we hadn't attempted to play this before tonight,
yeah,
we would.
Oh my god,
this would have been
A
a record video for.
It would have been awful.
Yeah.
And that's how everyone. That's not even just us. That's how everyone's gonna feel if they keep these symbols.
Because with all of our questions and a few bathroom breaks, but like mostly looking stuff up, it was 2 hours.
I have 3 hours recorded.
You have 3 hours recorded? Okay, well.
Yeah, so it's like 90 minutes is not a feasible thing if they keep it to where
We have to constantly look
it's
shit
like, oh, I
up.
got Mysthea, guys. Dalen, Kat, Devin, y'all want to play? Because I can't play this with anyone else. Because they're going to have to read every single card
Nobody wants
and
to fucking
memorize.
learn it, yeah.
You're going to have to do your homework to play the game.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, it's out of 5 if ease of play. I'd probably jump it up to a 7 or an 8.
Yeah.
Because they have unique ideas, just solidify them. And that was the other thing is like, that's real quick before you talk about it. It's weird that the eras got longer as time went by. Like that one, I didn't really care for.
It had the potential to get longer.
Well, yeah, that's true because it could. But if it's weird. I do like how there's different eras and how there's different cards per era. It's like you feel more powerful by the time's going on, and more monsters come out for some reason. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's like, why? Like, if anything, they should get shorter because you're more. But I guess you're more powerful, so you have more things to do.
Right.
You have more command to do. So it's just thematically weird to me.
Games have done that before, I feel like, where it's like, you don't fucking know what the era is.
Right. I will say, and I know for a fact Kat felt this way, that whenever a game goes on longer than it needs to, you're definitely feeling it. It's just like, oh my god.
Yeah, I imagine this was pretty terrible for you.
I didn't mean to, but it did start to emotionally
Well, I feel the
wear
same
me
way.
down,
I was
where I
feeling
was
it.
just like,
I had
oh.
192 points, and by era 3, I was like, come on, like, we're doing the same thing.
Yeah, like, I was just praying.
The cards aren't enough to be like, oh my god, what's coming out now? It's, oh, one more card got added.
Right.
So it's like I almost called it, honestly. I just called it.
I was actually, like, once we got to about, like, here, I was like, okay, there's no way I could win.
Well, I wasn't sure, because I thought Devin was actually going to make a comeback.
He did.
Well, I had that extra turn. I gotten 16 more points.
Yeah, because I was doing the math. I thought the way that you made her fight and jump here, I thought she was going to jump there and wipe all my people from here, but luckily she didn't. She ended up going next to last. But I was sitting there and I was like, oh my god, that's like 25 points I'm not going to get. So I was going to be back here. I thought Devin was coming back. That's why I didn't call it, because it was still potential. But I almost called it because I was like, all right, guys, you get the idea. Like, we're doing the same thing for 3 eras.
Yeah.
You know?
At the end of era 2, I took a bathroom break, and as I was coming out of the bathroom, I was like, that was like at the front of my mind I was like, ooh, it would be a good time to end
Yeah,
it.
we could have called...
Because we do understand, like...
We could have called the game and nothing would have been different.
Right.
They're not going to miss out on any mechanics.
And I was mainly just bored. It's not like...
Well, I think I would have been in second instead of third.
Fair.
That's a big difference for him.
I want to say I would have been in last, but I'm not sure.
Are you sure?
So...
I didn't lap you or anything. At least you didn't get lapped twice. By Devin. Get lapped by 2 people in the game.
Oh, I guess I didn't. I was like,
No.
I thought
No.
you did.
I thought I did.
Did
too.
you get lapped twice?
Yeah.
No, I think I jumped ahead.
Oh,
So technically,
you
yes,
caught
but
back
I
up early.
Yeah,
catch
oh,
back
okay,
up.
yeah.
So there's my redeeming.
I meant by the final.
There's my
So
redeeming
scale 1 to
quality.
10, babe.
I'll still give it a 6.
6.
As a prototype, I don't know what to rate it. We'll have to find out.
I guess that's true.
To be continued.
Real
Yeah.
quick before. So the things that stretch goals are coming is upgrade all components to a linen finish, 8 additional command cards, another champion called Kolbor and Malador. Looks
That
like
would be nice.
thicker game board and event board. Print on the back of the game board and event board. A 5th player expansion, thicker player boards, island. Print on the back of the islands. Another monster called Caniborok, the Qualm Eater. A companion app, rulebook, and guided setup upgrade. Print on the back of the player boards. Another champion called Sonya. Plastic tray. Another monster called Upsedusa. And the monsters look pretty cool. A battle command seal. I don't know what that means. 8 additional command cards. And then...
Oh, like a battle command. It's like when you're in a fight and you can probably cover the card.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a good idea. There we go.
Oh, so yes, okay. And then another champion called CR 2T1, the Invention.
That sounds interesting.
So
Right.
other things that haven't
Those
been
stretch goals.
right.
Yeah.
Another upgrades that haven't been fulfilled are spot UV details on the box, custom wooden token upgrade, another monster called Codroar the Infestation. It looks just like a tree with a box on the head, and then others they haven't shown. Social stretch goals, mobile wallpapers, desktop wallpapers.
Merch.
So yeah, so that's that. Yeah, so nothing about like.
They're not going to toss the symbols, are they?
No, they're not. There's no way. And if they don't toss the symbols,
It's like you might want. Well, ask them, email them.
I will have to email them.
But what I heard was that it sounds like they're gonna put info on the back of your board, like, hey, this is who maybe you are.
That I mean, yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be more thematically pleasing. But
But maybe not, because it's a player board. That
and
has
they
nothing
said
to
a
do with
companion app upgrade.
Well,
but
yeah,
man,
you still like a lot of games.
Oh, that
do
is a color, isn't it?
So,
Yeah,
they're
sorry, I
colored.
don't know why.
It's way too arduous. Because, like, hey guys, let's all play. Make sure you download this.
yeah, download the app. And there's games that do that, but that's to play the game.
Yeah, usually
Yeah,
just go one
Mansions of
person.
That
Madness,
makes sense
yeah.
when
Yeah.
you're buying
Totally works.
card
There's a
buying,
few
so.
that I have that everyone has to download the app, but it's a core, and you're like invested with the
Yeah,
app.
yeah.
You don't want to do it for research,
Right.
like so.
Well, and it's like, what if somebody gets, like, what if we invite a 5th person over and it's like, hey, you have to get this app for this game, and they're like, I want to get an
Yeah, I
app
don't
for
want to
this
download.
game,
Fuck
like.
that. Or it's like, hey guys, it's not working for me. Oh well, sorry. I guess you have to tell us what cards you have.
Yeah, I guess you have to fucking guess. No.
Yeah. So I'll email them. Actually, that's a pretty big deal for me.
Yeah.
If they don't put text on their cards, they're gonna go the symbol route. I may actually back out.
Yeah, like I said,
It's not worth. The game is not worth the work to figure out what every
Again,
single
because
card is.
because you mentioned it being like homework, and yeah, that took the fun right out of it, didn't
Right.
it?
they would have to put what the cards do on the cards and everything.
Yep.
For it to jump up, that
Mhm.
is a must.
Yeah.
So otherwise, it's a 4.
Yeah.
Right. So that's it, everyone. Let us know what your thoughts are on this game in the comments below. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you.